Hello everyone, Nordic Beast here, and welcome back to the Niddserver. So as you see, I survived getting off the planet. The Svard is actually upstairs. I'm inside my noodle base, Nordic's personal area. So this is my area, the lower levels in the noodle base. As you can see, it's not done yet. Hi, Space Butts. So this door, by the way, is owned by just me. So, you know, unless you're grinding bits down, you can't get through. Sorry, guys. That's my area. You come up here, and you see I've been working on this. This is the upper like public area, which also overlooks the hangar, which I think is a nice touch. As you see, I added some tables, no lights yet, and a kitchen area, and one of my favorites, space bathroom, 0G toilet, and a shower technically, and a washer dryer. I normally don't use parts like that, but I figured they're on the server, why not? Now, eventually, I might add some rooms and some cryopods, you know, just in case anyone wants to use them while they're here. Though nobody here seems to ever actually use them. They just seem to, you know, respawn. Which actually they're. Oop, let me go ahead and put my helmet on. There we go. Which there was a bug for a while that if say you died and you respawned at a different med bay than the first one you spawned in on the server, things didn't work right. Like you couldn't access anything, or it was pretty bad. So, but staying in a cryopod and then say you die and you respawn, you can spawn anywhere you want and it's not an issue. Now you can only do that once, but that is an advantage. So, as you see, the Svard 2 made it back up here. Now I did make it with some of the parts from the first Svard, but I had to ditch I had trouble getting out of the atmosphere with the weight. It just, I finally was able to pretty much like finagle it out of the atmosphere. It was just struggling at the edge, and I was getting so angry. And finally I realized I had like a bunch of ice on board, and I ditched the ice and the steel plates. I kept all the valuable parts, and I was able to get out of the atmosphere and made it home. So, as you see, I still got Wanda here. And this little guy, his name is Cubert, because he looks like the Atari character Cubert from the game back in the 80s. Yeah, it doesn't fly very well, but it's not supposed to. The idea is it's a micro welder. It's just you can get it into small areas that, you know, like the Wanda or any other welder wouldn't be able to actually fit. So it's basically a spot welder, which this does have material inside, which I'll probably use here in a minute. Now, in one of my, I think it was my last episode, I was looking at one of my new Z-Gubs, and my zero gravity utility bike, and I think I'm going to make a new one here. I had one. I can't recall if I said this or not, but this one is slightly different, as it has more thrust. It has no LCD or computer or anything. Programmable block, I mean. It only has the one cargo container on the back, and but it's designed to be able to actually work down on the lunar surface. Or, I'm sorry, the meaner surface? I think, is it the mean, they called it? Yeah, the mean. So the meaner surface. And I had one, and I crashed the bitch, and I totaled it. I mean, there was literally nothing left of it. I keep forgetting I still have to be gentle with it. I can't fly it around all crazy. So the biggest advantage, though, is it has an ore detector, which I found some ore over there, including uranium. So I will probably have to share those coordinates with Sal and Mir soon. Sorry, I got something building up in my throat here. Take a drink of my drink here. Better. So I do like this, though, for exactly that. It is nice to be able to explore down on the meaner surface. So, and if I didn't clarify, this is the moon is mean. And the planet is salty. So salty and mean. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to claim one of the moons. Where are the? Because let's see. There's the alien world. There's the Mars-like world. Mars has a Europa-like moon, which, I mean, that is all ice. I might have to claim the Europa one if it's not already claimed. And then for the alien one, there's also the Titan moon, which has spiders on it. Apparently spiders are on the server. So, to quote Boris, that's where I go to get my bloodlust out. So I will have to make me a jump ship at some point to be able to get all the way out there and, you know, go fight some spiders. I think that is kind of my end game here. For at least this season of the Niddserver, because this is the first one with like planets and all that. We actually, the last season server, we talked about having a planet, but we were having issues pasting them in. Like, planets were still glitchy, so that's why they started this one. Actually, if we end up doing like another season after this, I would love to do like a custom world. I think that'd be kind of cool, or something like my Glorious Adventures, where it has like the custom gas giant in the middle with the worlds all around it. I think that's kind of cool. So, yeah, just thoughts for the future. But I would like to actually make it out there and fight some bugs. You know, try to design myself like a permanent settlement designed to fight and kill the bugs. So, yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. So anyway, yeah, Z-Gub next. You can see all the connectors I still have to build down here. That's the other big thing. Now, I know it's not pretty, but this would be functional. Like, here are just connectors. This is a connector with a conjoining merge block. This one here is for Boris. This is connector, space, then merge block. Like the Tina would be able to fit here. Tiny, or little Tina, whatever. This is just a series of connectors, just allowing any multitude of small ships to be able to dock. And then over here, I might change one of these. This is more the Sal way to do it, with just a conveyor tube and a merge block. So, I don't know, I might change this one. Maybe I'll make another, like, Boris-like one or something. I don't know, we'll see. But I just wanted to make sure I had enough that if somebody showed up, they actually had a spot. So, I don't know, maybe I'll leave this one here empty just in case. Like, we could just modify it on the fly so that there's always one open to be able to change if need be. You know, I think that's what I'll do with that one. So, then I'll number them. So, now, even though this is one long hanger, I figure, you know, I'd add a number to it. Now, originally, I figure since Mir said this, I'll go ahead and add this to the video. A hanger, H-A-N-G-E-R, is something that you put in your closet. A hanger that you put, say, an aircraft in is with an A, not an E. I was completely unaware of this, and what's sad is I'm a native English speaker, and I didn't know this. But that's also why I hate this language so much. It is such a terrible language compared to pretty much anything other than maybe Mandarin or Russian. I don't know. Russian's probably not too bad, to be honest. But yeah, English is basically Old Norse mixed with Latin and squished together. So you have two completely different languages pushed together against their will, and you get English. It's so awful. So, back here I still have my two connectors. So those are still fully operational. The base total right now still only has the 4 large cargo containers. I might actually add a couple underneath. I mean, there's no reason for them to be protected. There's, you know, nothing requiring it. Oh, I almost whacked that. So, I think that's pretty much about it for right now. Like I said, I'm gonna weld up all those, and then I'm gonna finish up the 2 levels inside and build my Z-Gub. Oh, I didn't show you the utility area back here. Boop. So my old Z-Gub used to be parked in here before I completely demolished it. Sorry, I'm so left in awe. I hit the ground. I wish I was recording when that happened. I hit the ground at about 60 meters a second, and it annihilated every block, and I went flying out of it alive. And then when I went to go look for it, there was just nothing. It was all gone. So, yeah, but you know, you can see some of the... There we go. You see some of the cargo containers here. And then all the utility parts. I added 2 more oxygen tanks and an extra oxygen generator, just so that, you know, we had enough. I just wanted to make sure that there was enough here. And then it's got the 3 hydrogen tanks. That should be more than enough for, you know, people coming here. Though they are pretty hydrogen hungry, so maybe I'll add a couple extras. We'll see. So, alright, I think I will cut here and show you some of the other things I've seen on the server that have recently been posted. So, what's all this then? So, this here is actually the base Boris has been working on. I believe he called it Sloth. But it's because of the asteroid that he built on. Which he actually just released a video about it today. Now, I had stumbled upon this base before. I knew he had one, because during during Sal's live stream, he flew the Little Tina. And in fact, in my first Nid episode, you can see the Little Tina, or the Little Tuna, as I called it. So, I have to say, I'm rather flattered he designed this base aesthetically off of a lot of my designs, like the hangar look about it. So, alright, I want to be careful. I don't want to smack into anything. And I really like it. He's got something... He's really got a good idea here. So, if my ship would please stop moving. Thank you. Alright. I'll just leave that there. Here, let's grab some hydrogen. Always a good idea. I don't want to be left stuck floating out in the middle of nowhere. Nope, not oxygen. I'll take that too. In fact, put all that away. I still had material on me. What? Oh, shit. Give me all that stuff. So, as I mentioned, I had to throw away a bunch of stuff while I was on a planet. Well, I was on planet Salty, in fact. That's what that was all about. Alright. So, his idea here is for it to essentially be like an enclosed building area that's also oxygenated. So, once he's done with this, it'll actually have atmosphere in here, so you can take off your helmet and be able to build. And I think it's a great idea. Now, he feels that this is probably the biggest you could get a ship to, you know, fit inside this, as far as like the server is concerned. Now, for me, let's see if I can find it. Solstice. I feel this design, the Solstice. Ooh, pardon me. If you watch my Glorious Adventures episode, and also I believe I had this in a shipyard episode before as well. It's a pretty big ship, but I feel it's near the edge of what's practical in physical size as far as the Space Engineers is concerned. I would say otherwise it would be my Thor battleship. I couldn't think of what it was called for some reason. That one's on the edge of it too, and that one's longer and heavier, but that's mostly because it has like heavy armor and things like that. So, anyway, what he decided to do was he has all these airtight doors you see here, and did he? I wonder if he started on that idea I mentioned. So, with I don't know, maybe. No, those aren't the parts I thought they were. Anyway, the idea is that this big clamshell. Come on, excuse me, Tina. You come down with this merge block, and you unmerge the bottom, and then it locks to that, and then it swings open. Now, the crappy thing is apparently the regular rotors don't displace as far, so you can't quite use them here anymore, and the advanced rotors, unfortunately, are weak as shit. That reminds me, Boris, you end up watching this, there's also a mod out there we might want to consider that makes stronger rotors. So, but, you know, every other week, Keen is adding an update that breaks code. So, you might want to reconsider that, if you considered it at all. So, the other cool thing is he also built this bad little motherfucker. It's basically an exploit for the infinite wheel spawning for the suspension now. So basically this rotates, and these automatically spawn, and they grind down the spawned wheels, and it just keeps going and spawning and going and spawning. So that also got me thinking, though, you could probably move these a little farther away and have it fixed so you don't have to rotate anything. And because the grinders actually have like an area of effect, so they don't actually have to be touching for them to grind. So you could probably remove the rotor from the system completely. So I don't know, just food for thought. But yeah, I think this is a fantastic idea. So he is having some issue with like some of the seams you see here. I was mentioning that he might want to think about using what are those parts called? The blast door blocks, to add a seam that will come together and be airtight. Oh yeah, this part exploded on his last test. That's rough. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and weld that up for him while I'm here. So Yeah, and it was funny is he actually took the safety precaution to stop, you know, the merge blocks from exploding. If you happen to watch his video on all that, and it still blew up anyway. Damn thing. Damn you, space engineers. So, yeah, I think this is a cool idea. In fact, I would eventually like to build a big ship in here. And actually, Boris had something else to think about, to add, like, you know, one, like, light armor block like this to be able to just post a ship, like, do, like, a projection system. Build a couple of welding ships, you know, to bring out. Or weld it by hand or whatever, you know. I mean, I know a lot of you guys like to build, like, custom ships by hand like this. I don't know if you projected this or not. I just kind of assumed. But I like doing both. Like, the Cubert I showed a little while ago. The Cubert was built by hand, but that was just because it was so easy. There's not even a blueprint for it. But, you know, like the Svard, this is a complicated ship to build. I mean, to build this in survival would take quite a while without pre-building it and using a projector to weld it all together. That also allows me to test it before flying it. Now, don't get me wrong, actually, the testing in a survival world is quite fun. Like, say I had built this from scratch. I do find it fun to test ships in survival to find out what they're capable of, except for, like, the Svard, well, the Svard 1 and not the Svard 2 here, you know, finding, you know, little loopholes and glitches where, oh yeah, it overpowers when you try to use the large thrusters on the back and you crash and have an untimely demise. So, this is... I kind of want to build a little house in here just to be like, ha ha ha, it's mine. And just, like... have like one line of girders coming through to a little house in here. So I'm taking his power. But yeah, this is the sloth base. Oh, let's see if I can see the face here. I think I might have lower settings or something like that. Or is it over here? I don't know, I'm not seeing it. But basically, there was a certain angle you could look at the asteroid, and it looked like Sloth from the Goonies. Or, I believe Boris said the other pronunciation was Sloth. Yeah, I guess either or is correct, it doesn't really matter. So, yep, and that's pretty much it. So, I will, I think I'll end this episode here. I figured I'd just give an update. Next episode will probably be me building a lot of shit. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, please hit the like button. I'll see you guys next time.